Hey, this is Matt with Let's Talk Music. I'm here with Topi from Swansong. You guys are based out of Finland, correct?
Yes, from Kuopio, Finland.
Okay. So, you guys just signed with Noble Demon, and I read your press release of you guys seem to be pretty excited about that. Tell me how that all came about.
Yeah, well, first, of course, we are really excited about that and really glad that we got things started with Noble Demon and uh, 2021 summer we went first time studio. The band was formed in 2020 and we went uh, last year summer studio to record the first EP and three songs. And first song and video, Lovely Bones, came out this January, and a couple of rest songs later, like March, May, something like that. And we were approaching labels with with our music and and we got few, maybe two or three, like positive answers from labels, and Noble Demon was one of those, and absolutely the one that we also were interested of the most.
Hmm.
And we have been like negotiating and dealing with the contract since the sometime midsummer, and it's like now official been a while.
Awesome. Yeah, the song Lovely Bones, uh, check that out. Really liked it. Um, it's always really cool to see a female have that kind of unclean vocals.
Yeah,
It's not very not very common. I mean, we have a few over here, but I've noticed that bands that I've done over in Europe and whatnot, it's a lot more prevalent. So it's kind of a breath of fresh air, because it's always usually dudes that do it, and then to see a woman do it, especially, one as pretty as her, that's pretty awesome. So, but yeah, I really dug the song. I mean, I think from beginning to end, man, it's just it's heavy, it's brutal, it's fun to listen to. I just the older guy that was speaking in it, is he part of the band or was that just an extra on the video?
he was he's just feeding in that one song. He's my very good friend from my earlier band Vernuarmo, as pronounced in Finnish, which I have played since 2009. It's like Finnish metal band where which singing Finnish with Savonian dialect. We live in Savonian area here in Kuopio, and and it's like the band's thing. And the band was active until 2018 when our drummer died from that band, and we decided not to continue after that. And but I've been touring Finland many times. I mean, whole Finland with Tuomas, who is the feeding guy in that music video, a very good friend of mine. And we just wanted to ask him to make some featuring for that song's chorus, and that's what just came up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, sorry to hear about your drummer. That's always crappy to lose you know, a band member, a friend, whatever. So
Yeah,
my sympathies for that. So the album Winter Maiden, and it says it's a re-release of your debut EP.
yeah, yeah, that's correct. it was like a idea which came from Noble Demon that perhaps it would be a good idea to start getting things like launched, released with this EP because of course we were not, and even still we are not so known band, even though there has been really the like the hype, what we call it, the feedback around the world that we have gained through the social media and channels like that. It's well, must say that I am personally really surprised how the band has how people around the world has like took us took
Right.
us and things that how it seems that that weird connection of genres that we do. There's like this death metal, heavy metal, almost like elements of hard rock, heavy rock. Every many, it's a very mixture of metal genres, and it seems that there's there is a place for that kind of music,
Oh,
especially with people from the growling singer.
right. And it is, I mean, music is I mean it's worldwide, man. It's so it's I think no matter what country you're from or where you know what music you play, it's there's always going to be people that receive it that's going to be, you know, I mean, you already you have what I think it was like 7,800 views on YouTube for the Lovely Bones videos. So I mean, you know, that's an accomplishment. I mean, you know, you're getting it out there, and I feel like with you know, being signed to Noble Demon, that you're gonna. Sorry about my dogs there. uh, with signed to Noble Demon, I've seen how they promote their bands, and I think that that would help you guys a lot too. So, what about
Yeah.
tour plans? What about like in 2023? You guys gonna get out and play some shows, or any plans of that?
Well, anything depending from a band. That's the plan and the, our our will to make as much shows next year as possible. But at the moment, the main focus is on the debut album, finishing the songs, the demos for the debut album rehearsal. Those we start recording sessions in February,
Okay.
and so now until the next autumn, there is like actually no time, uh, and not least because we just had to make some member changes. We
Mhm.
just got a new drummer. It's really like fresh fresh thing, but fortunately he's a really professional guy, so it won't take a long time that he gets the job done, let's say like
Right.
that way. But until it's gonna be somewhere next springtime when we have the debut album recorded, and the rest is up to mixer and mastering guys when it's ready to release. But we have recorded two songs already mastered, and
Hmm.
we are shooting music videos somewhere the in the beginning of January. But still, we have no any further details for those single releases. But somewhere, I'd say the first quarter of next year, and of course, well, we are also blessed that we have a good booking agency, the Heavy Metal Heart. Uh, Nanda, who is our booking agent, she's really effective and connected, networked person, and also busy but also effective. And we are really relying on her that she gets gets good shows for us. It there are challenges with that because there is only 3 songs so far which we have released, one EP, and and uh, well, I myself I have the earlier band I just told you about.
Mhm.
I handled myself the booking, selling concerts for that band for a few years, so have some kind of experience of that, and also uh, from that we understand fully the meaning that it's really hard to sell band if there is an uh, if it's not very familiar to
Mhm.
begin with, like we are not. We are just uh, formed under 2 years ago,
Right.
and one EP done, uh, and so our booking agent will have the leverage to sell shows like full throttle in that point when we have some concrete dates and maybe 1 or 2 singles released from the debut album. So let's hope we get those things done early enough so we can do some festivals next summer, and but uh, a half the latest half next year I think should be pretty like much gigging on
Okay.
the road.
Cool. So, just out of curiosity, what is it that made you get into music? What is it that made you just pick up a guitar and say, "This is what I want to do"?
um that's a good question. Actually, there's um it began when I was, well, maybe 12 or something, and neighbor my age, my one of my best friends, uh, our neighbor, uh, he had older brother who had just got an electric guitar, and when I were visiting them one time and saw that guitar, and so there was just immediately some I just had to handle, like trying to get voices out of it, and just it just appealed somehow very strongly to me, and since that I just had to uh, tell my parents that I want guitar. That's I promise you, I won't stop that. I will learn to play, and maybe half a year of that asking daily, weekly, something like that. They get bored enough of that, so they they bought me the first electric guitar, and there's been now 25, 26 years, and here we are. And when
Okay.
I got that guitar, that was about everything I really wanted to cool. Uh, when I came to school, the school bag found from the same place I dropped it yesterday when I came to school, and I just played guitar, and that was pretty much my life when I was a teenager, and good thing that I had such a motivation for train and playing those years, because nowadays you just it's much harder to find time for
Mhm.
that.
Now, did you was you self-taught or did you take lessons?
Well, actually, no. And in that time, there wasn't like YouTube, internet in every basic household. There was some only some instructional material. It was on paper, and you had to get it from library or some music store.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, and I had maybe uh, played guitar maybe year or two before I first time heard of tablatures, and that was a major like discovery for myself. That I remember in is it like upper comprehensive school, like grades 7, 8, 9, when you're a teenager. When I we had an internet in school, not at home that time. Iron Maiden is the biggest one to mention, biggest influencer for myself. I've seen it, I think, 13, 14 times live,
Hmm.
and and in some time at school, I like secretly printed. I found some website where was every single Maiden's album songs tablatures. Uh, like I just printed, get a few folders of those, and every day just a tiny part of those tablatures. So it's not too much to one time, so I couldn't get caught of that, and I got that collection. But mainly just like with the ear, with the ear, learning some songs with the ear, and sometime maybe when I was 20 years old, I think perhaps I was lazy or something. Those tablatures kind of they just uh, I rather just listened and played with music. I think it was faster and easier way to
Right.
read from the tablatures. Of course, I started to think in that way from the right stuff that I learned the basic chords and on the basic chords, and that's when many people have like asked some guides that are willing to learn starting the starting to learn playing guitar. I always say that first of all learn the chords, basic chords, the major and minor chords at least, and then start to look for your favorite, like playing those master of puppets or something Slayer or heavy metal songs from tablatures, whatever you like,
Oh yeah.
but learn the chords first.
Right. So I see you got a few of them behind you. What's your favorite guitar to play? What brand?
Well, actually, ESP is the one that's really, and nowadays I have a endorsement deal actually
Oh,
with
okay.
a Finnish importer of ESP guitars, and and even before that, maybe a decade, I played with ESP guitars, and it's it's just in any way guitars that are very the best, the best for me,
Hmm.
fit in
Yeah.
my needs and my taste and everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ESP is a very good guitar. It's played by quite a few people. I had a Gibson Epiphone when I was younger. And then I think that was about the only one I owned. I kind of just I didn't pick up on it real well. And the person that I was learning from was kind of impatient. So I think, I've had thoughts of maybe buying another one. I've looked at ESP, I've looked at Jackson, and like you was talking about earlier, now we have all this stuff with YouTube and the internet and whatever, and it'd be so much easier, I feel like, to learn from that because you can, if you lose your stride or whatever, you can say, oh, whoop, and rewind it and try it again. And,
Mm,
um, it's been a thought, but right now I'm just kind of content with doing this. I really like talking to musicians, especially from all around the world. I mean, I've done an interview with a guy that was in India, you know, uh, Ireland, Finland. It's it's really cool to get a perspective from other people than what we have over here. How music affects them and how they approach music is different than what it is over here, and it's nice to learn that and nice to just talk to somebody from thousands of miles away. I mean, you,
yeah.
you think about it, years ago this wouldn't even have been possible, and now
Yes.
you got Skype and Zoom and all that, and it's awesome. I've really loved it. I mean, you're going to be like my 104th or 105th interview that I've done. I try to book him as much as possible. I'm working with several different publicists that they keep me busy. I
Yeah,
actually,
I believe that.
I
And
actually
thank you
had,
for inviting us. Really appreciate that.
oh yeah, man, it's no problem. I mean, when they send me a press release, I read it, I listen to the music, and I'm like, okay, let's go on YouTube and see what else they got outside of the new release that they're sending me. And I've never turned down a band. I think that you guys put all of your heart and soul and your creativity into making this music, and who am I to judge whether it's good or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
that's great attitude.
I'd rather give it a chance and listen to it and just and then talk to you guys and see what it is that drives you. And it's always a different answer. It's always just like I really enjoyed your answer of what made you pick up a guitar. I mean, the fact that you walked into somebody's house and you seen this guitar and you was drawn to it, that's really cool. And
That's just what happened, and it's like it's funny thing that it's like something 25 years ago when I was a
right.
little kid, but that vision, that moment, it's like I remember that like yesterday, really.
And that's extremely what's the word I want to look for? It's extremely cool to hear that something like that would just draw you in and kick your career off. I mean, and now you're saying, 20 something years later, I remember it like it was yesterday. I mean, man, that's just passion right there.
Yeah, and talking about passion, I really remember when I had started to playing, and when I got my first amplifier, and it was well, not maybe every night evening, but most of the nights in the very many years that my parents, it was like 9 o'clock, no, not between 9-10 p.m. They had to like tell me like, now shut the fuck up, now we go to sleep and you must stop playing. And I remember in the summer holiday, now maybe you guys have a lot, do you call it a spring break or what it is, but we have like summer holiday from school.
Right.
It starts before June, and school starts in autumn, like late August, something like that.
Hmm.
And I remember like when my parents they didn't have their vacation at the time, but I was on holiday. Uh, and when I couldn't play inside the house anymore, I just dragged the wire powers to the yard, and we were living in the countryside, and I played outside with my amplifier at nights until I was tired enough that I had to go to bed.
Hey, that's some serious dedication right there. So, and that's it's what it takes. I mean, there's very few people that can just pick up a guitar or a bass or even sit down at a drum kit and just catch on right away and just start wailing stuff out. I mean, it does take lots of practice, takes lots of dedication, time, and that's another thing that I gave you guys props for, because I mean it's you took all that time to do that, and now look at where you're at. You're a great guitar player. Like I said, the Lovely Bones, I really loved the guitar work in that. I love the fact
Thanks.
you guys threw a solo in it. That was pretty cool, because solos are, for a while they were kind of obsolete, and now they're making a comeback. And it's I remember hearing a friend say, like, man, I don't like the guitar solos, blah blah blah, it's just them showing off, it doesn't even really have nothing to do with the song. And I'm like, what? you know I'm like, I love a good guitar solo. I mean, and it's just I think a vital piece to certain songs and certain genres. I mean, you don't hear a single Slayer song that doesn't have a guitar solo, or a single
Mm.
Iron Maiden song. You know what I mean?
Which have two solos
Right. And
from Dave and Adrian or Janik.
right. So I mean, it's pretty it's a all around, I think it's essential, for at least for metal. Now, when grunge came out and whatever, maybe not so much, because it was a different type of music, but you still had, like Alice in Chains, Jerry Cantrell would, do
Mm.
solos. I mean, so um yeah, I admire your dedication, man, for real.
Thanks, man.
It's something that I never had the patience for.
I don't know where the patient came from. I think maybe it came uh, because I have ADD, and I there were lots of things that I didn't give a shit. It just didn't interesting. And anyhow, and maybe that was the one thing that I found, and I just couldn't keep myself out of it.
Yeah.
And and
And
one thing for those guitar solo theme that you just said, I agree with everything with that, and I admit that there was time for me myself that there was like playing fast, faster and faster solos, learning those. It was like a thing itself, that it was like some kind of a meter of a guitar player, how good player you can be, if how fast solos you can play. Well, that's a thing I really do not think. I haven't think of, in a long time. For nowadays, for a long time, I appreciate the sound, the feeling, uh, the playing like very little. The guitar itself, I love the instrument because it's so very dynamic instrument. Like no mention to like say anything not not so good for other instruments, but like when you play a note from piano, you can play it louder or not so louder.
mhm.
But when you play note with guitar, you can, with the bends and with the pick, there is like a, well, like almost millions of way to play one
Oh, yeah.
note with those factors, and it's just a feeling what you put and how can you make your your mindset, your feeling to play through your guitar and amplifier.
Mm.
And and for myself, uh, regarding to those solos, uh, that's one part I maybe last 15 years. I don't know if it's some laziness or something like that, but in purpose, I haven't like composed my guitar leads before studio. Of course, there has been some versions that I've played in practices before we go to studio, but the final solo comes when the rec light is on and I'm playing. I'm improvising it in the studio, and
Awesome.
it's just the way that works for me finest. The only crappy thing about that is that I have to learn those solos afterwards
Right.
later, but that's still the way I'm gonna work from now on. Always, it just works for me. I think it's the little pressure and a little like the timing that you now you have to give it like some athlete in some competition. It's like that adrenaline and something like that, and I think it just pushed me to the something to the best.
Awesome. All right. Well, Toppy, I really appreciate your time. Um, and I will get this edited and sent to everybody. Get it sent. Do you guys have a Facebook and all that, correct? All the social media?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it sent to you. I'll send it to the publicist. I'll send it to, Noble Demon, and hopefully we get you some more American fans out this way.
let's hope so. And I thank you too. It was really awesome to chat with you. Hope to see you again.
Yes, sir. Well, you enjoy your day, and I will look forward to some new tracks from you guys in 2023.
Yeah, I hope if not so many months from now when you get the chance to hear and see the newest videos and single songs. And
All
I
right.
guarantee they're gonna be awesome.
Well, if they're anything like Lovely Bones, I'm sure they will. Because, like I said, I really dug the entire song, man. All the elements were there. It was all just, it was great.
Well, I appreciate very much. I think they're gonna smash those bones, the new ones.
There you go. All right, buddy. Well, you have a good day.
Yeah, same to you. Actually, it's pretty much time to go to sleep now in Finland, but you have a great day and it was a really pleasure.
It was. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mm.